This evening, I'm pleased to introduce our commencement speaker. Mr. Eric Hogue was elected as the 45th mayor of Wiley, Texas on May 10th of 2008. He was recently elected to his fourth term, making him the longest continually serving mayor in the city's 130-year history. The mayor is also a real estate consultant, a minister with the Cottonwood Church of Christ, president of the Texas School for the Deaf Governing Board, chairman of the board for Baylor, Scott, and White Lake Point Medical Center, and chairman of the F.O. Birmingham Land Trust. And although it's not in my notes, I'll tell you he's also an amateur magician. Is that still right? All right. Eric spent over 20 years of his career in corporate America at various levels of management for MCI Telecommunications and Electronic Data Systems. His last corporate position was as Director of Communications for the Chief Information Officer of Electronic Data Systems, EDS, where he led a communications project management and financial management to an organization of over 3,000 employees in 80 countries. The mayor is also a published author of the children's book, Twinkie the Clown and the Secret of Happyville. I think that's the subject of the commencement address. The chapter book is written for 9 to 12-year-olds, nope, that's not it, and focuses on various life lessons. I learned this last week at lunch with the mayor, and I'm learning something new about him every week that goes by. He's a graduate of the University of Arkansas in Little Rock, and he's been recognized for his efforts to promote personal and professional growth in and around the community. In 2014, he received the Wiley, Texas Citizen of the Year Award from the Wiley Chamber of Commerce, the 2014 Community Builder Award from the Masonic Grand Lodge of Texas, the Community Ethics Award by the Rotary Club of Wiley East Fork, and he's been named as one of the 21 leaders for the 21st century in Collin County, Texas. Eric and his wife Tammy have been married for over 30 years and have 2 grown sons, a daughter-in-law, and in August, they will be welcoming their first grandchild, a little boy. Please welcome, if you would please, Mr. Eric Hogue for our 2018 commencement address.
Thank you, Dr. Mackin. Trustees, faculty, parents, friends, and of course, the class of 2018. Congratulations. Congratulations on your graduation, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this very special night. I send you greetings from the great city of Wiley, Texas, 39 square miles of a little bit of heaven on earth. We got any Wileyites here tonight? You know, Wiley, Texas is going to be the home of a new Collin College campus starting the fall of 2020. Pretty excited about that. You know, as I began to prepare for this evening, I was reminded of my graduation 30 years ago. I tried to think of the words and the theme that my commencement speaker gave to our graduating class. I can remember parts of the speech, the highlights, but for the life of me, I absolutely have no idea who it was. I can't remember his or her name, which I've got to tell you, that was kind of a humbling experience as I was preparing for tonight. But tonight I do hope to encourage you to not remember me, but remember that success is a process. It is a journey, not an event or not a moment in time. Tonight is the end of a journey that you started at least 2 years ago, and it's time to relish in the successful completion of something you started and completed. But you may be thinking, what's next? Now, some of you may know by now what you will do. You may know that you're going to do something that you love to do, and you know what your life's work will be. But many of you still may be unsure, still looking around, and you may change your mind several times in the years ahead. Wherever you go, whatever path you find, you have been prepared by the education you have received at Collin College. As each of you look forward to your future, Always focus on finding that which you do well and that which you love doing. And remember that success is a journey, not a moment. Now, it's my understanding that the average Collin College student is 26 years old. Some of you are younger, and I can see that some of you are older. No matter your age today, just remember that today is the first day of the rest of your life. Ray Kroc was 52 years old when he founded McDonald's. He built his first restaurant in Oak Brook, Illinois. Today, there are over 37,213 restaurants in 120 countries. Not bad for a guy who in 1956 just wanted to sell more milkshake machines to the McDonald brothers. Colonel Harlan Sanders had held a number of jobs in his life, such as a short order cook, an insurance salesman, and a gas station operator. And at the young age of 65, and living on $105 a month in Social Security, the Colonel started selling his chicken recipe. Today, you know it as KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. In 1989, Melissa Poe, who was 9 years old, wrote a letter to President George H.W. Bush. She told him how she was concerned about the environment, asking for his help. When he didn't write back, unlike so many other 9-year-olds, she decided that it was up to her to get people involved. So her and a group of her friends, 6 of them, formed an organization called Kids Face, Kids F-A-C-E, Kids for a Cleaner Environment. With her mom's help, she also reached out to billboard companies and convinced one of them to donate advertising on 250 billboards across the country. Guess who wrote her back? The result is that Poe's Club has grown from her 6 friends to over 300,000 members in 15 countries. The organization's newsletter, Kids Face Illustrated, goes out to over 3 million subscribers. You see, it doesn't matter where you are at this moment. What matters is what do you want to do from this moment forward? What do you want to be? What do you want to have? You see, you don't have to be great to start. You just got to be willing to start. So I encourage you, as you take those next steps in your life, that you take action and you live your dreams. The late motivational speaker and author of over 15 books on sales and motivation, Zig Ziglar, used to say success occurs when your dreams get bigger than your excuses. One of my closest friends is a guy by the name of David Copperfield. He's the world's most famous and most successful magician in history. David was raised in a little town in New Jersey, an only child of 2 hard-working parents who were just getting by. But they always encouraged him to dream big, and at the age of 10, he discovered magic. He says big dreams start with one small step. He follows it up with overcoming your doubts and your fears will make your dreams come true. Unfortunately, life is what happens while we're making plans. And those dreams, they many times get pushed off to the side. So now understand that along this journey, this process, people will also remind you of what you are and of your limits, and so many times you will hear the words can't. Kind of reminds me of a story of something that happened many years ago in Wiley, Texas. It was in the 1940s, and at that time, most of our roads were dirt or gravel, and these 2 little boys, they were in elementary school, and they were walking home, and they passed by a wooded area, and about that time, a coyote came out of the woods. Well, there was a man who was behind the boys in his old beat-up pickup truck, and he stopped, he jumps out of his truck, grabs his shotgun, and shoots that coyote dead. Well, right behind him was a little car. The little guy jumped out, and he happened to be a reporter for the Wiley newspaper. He said, "This is amazing. This is incredible. I can't wait to write the story for next week's paper. I can just see the headline now. Wily man saves children from wild beast." And the guy in the truck said, "Well, I appreciate that, sir, but I'm not from Wiley, Texas." He said, "Friend, that's not a problem, not a problem. I know. I'll change the headline just a little bit. Here's what it'll say. It'll say, Texas man saves boys from wild beast." He said, "Well, sir, I appreciate that, but I'm not from Texas either." The reporter said, "Well, friend, where are you from?" He said, "I'm from New York City." So the reporter, he wrote up his story, and he put a headline in the Wiley News. And that next week it was published, and that headline said, "Yankee kills family pet." People will always tell you what you should do. They'll tell you how you should be. But at the end of the day, what do you want? What do you want to be? Believe in yourself, and you really can make your dreams come true. I'm going to tell you, I should not be the mayor of Wiley, Texas. I am from a town, a community, it's not even a town, called Gravel Ridge, Arkansas. It's so small, it's not even on a map. Okay? I like to tell people, I graduated from the University of Arkansas, that little rock, okay? Because it's a satellite campus. My degree is in education with a focus in deafness. I'm an introvert. I paid for college by doing magic shows at children's birthday parties and company picnics. I wasn't some prestigious intern in some big company. I didn't have outstanding credentials, and it's safe to say that I did not graduate at the top of my class. But I was taught to dream. And 10 years ago, I believed I could make a difference in my community. I wanted to be the mayor of Wiley, Texas. I wanted to build a better Wiley. And I won my election with over 60% of the vote. And today, according to Money Magazine, Wiley, Texas is one of the top 20 places to live in the United States. And it is the 4th best place in the country to raise a family. And I know all you folks that live out in our suburbs, like McKinney and Plano and Frisco, y'all are gonna go home tonight, call your realtor and get a sign and put it in the yard and come to Wiley, Texas. I know that's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you though, those accolades, they didn't happen by accident. You see, I had a dream of what I wanted our city to be, and I sold that dream on other people, and we built on our community's strengths. We didn't listen to the critics, and they were out there. We would not listen to the critics, and we succeeded. I love the words of President Theodore Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of the deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives, who errs, who comes up short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does not actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Live the impossible. Ignore the critics. Believe in yourself. Take action and make your dreams a reality. May your future be filled with a journey that leads you to all your success and to the fulfillment of all your dreams. Thank you. May God bless each of you, and may God bless Collin College.